everyone, and welcome back to Literacy Volunteers of Laredo's Holiday Camp 2020. We want to thank the Dollar General Literacy Fund and also Laredo College for allowing us the opportunity to bring these videos to you every week. This week, I'm going to show you guys how you can create little peppermint plates. Okay, aren't they fun? I just got so tickled with this, and it's so simple to do. So let me tell you what you're going to need. Okay, now you could use paint, but a marker is what we're going to use today. Okay, so you can use some washable markers. Okay, particularly red or green, but you can use any color you want. Okay, and then I have these little plates. These little plates I picked up at the Dollar Tree. They are paper plates, not the styrofoam ones or the plastic ones. They need to be paper, okay? That's really important because the paper is what's going to take the red pigment for us, okay? If you have plastic, that doesn't work very well, and styrofoam doesn't work very well either because they're kind of water repellent, and so you need the paper plates, okay? And I just got some small ones, but you could get the big ones. Let's see, I think this is the... Yeah, they're the 7-inch ones. So they're fairly small and manageable, okay? And I think they come in a package of 24 for like $1, you know, so they don't cost very much either. But if you have the paper plates there at your house, that will work well. Just keep in mind that you want to have a paper plate that has like a little bit of a rim. I don't know if you can see that, but it has like a little bit of a rim because that's what's going to hold some glue for us. So we need to have that little rim on there. Okay, so you're going to have markers, you're going to have your plates, you're going to need to have some glue, of course, a ruler, a pencil, some scissors, some tape, and this is probably the one thing that you may have to pick up. You may have some type of plastic wrap somewhere around your house that's not saran wrap or cling wrap. You need that kind of plastic that won't stick as you are wrapping it together. You don't want it to cling to itself, okay? You want it to kind of be separated out, okay, like that. So if it's the cling wrap or the saran wrap, then, you know, it has a tendency to get all bunched up, and you don't want that. You don't want it to stick together, okay? So this, like I said, was at the Dollar Tree also, and it's only $1. But if you have some other plastic wrap around your house, you can use that too, okay? All right, and then I went ahead and got some ribbon as well. Because I'm going to make them look a little bit prettier here in just a minute. But, okay, let's get started. I'm going to move these guys out of the way. You can use them for centerpieces on a table, but I'm going to show you guys, you can actually put mints inside of these because they're just two plates that are sandwiched together. Okay, so how do we go about creating that design? Okay, if we look close at a peppermint, okay, I actually picked up some peppermints. You can see that they have like a little spiral design on them. Can y'all see that? Okay, and so, you know, I was struggling with how to show you guys how to do a spiral design, but I think the way I show you, it's going to be really easy for you. But see, here's a green one, right? So you could do it green, but then they also had these that are multicolored. Can y'all see those? So you can make them orange or a red, cherry color or grape or even lemon. Okay, you can do any kind of swirl that you want. Okay, but I have these candies right there because that's what I'm going to put inside the plate. All right, so first things first, we got to figure out how many swirls we're going to put. And I just do 4. That's all. Okay, I'm going to do 4. So I have to find the center of my plate. And so usually, you know, my famous words are, I'm going to eyeball it. All right, I say that a lot. I'm sure y'all figured that out. But I'm going to use my pencil, and I'm going to find the center. Okay. I know that it's 7 inches, the plate. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay my ruler over there and go to about 3.5, because that's half of 7, right? Is 3.5. So 3.5 inches, but it's not quite centered. I'm going to turn it, and right where I made that mark, I'm going to do the same thing for 3.5. And so that can usually kind of help me find the center of my plate. You know, if it's off a little bit, it's okay. But I want to try to eyeball it as much as possible too. I don't have to necessarily have it perfect, but there you can see I put just a little bit of a pencil mark in there to try to search and find for the center of my plate. Okay, so I have that, but then I'm going to take the ruler and we're going to create these little lines on the outside. Can y'all see that? It's kind of like how we were doing our dream catcher. Do y'all remember how we were going from wherever we started? We were at one side, we just went completely opposite, right? And then we went opposite and opposite. Okay, and then we kind of found the center. So you don't necessarily even need to have your ruler if you just want to eyeball it. Okay, that's kind of nice too. But if you really want to kind of keep things straight and organized, there's nothing wrong with using your ruler. Okay, just to kind of hold it in place for us. And you can put however many striations you want, however many swirls, because you know sometimes I see 4, sometimes I see 5, sometimes there's 10. You know, it's really up to you, whatever you want to do. Now I have to stand over it because that's the only way I can kind of get that balanced. But this one's going to have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going to have 8. Okay. All right. So y'all see that? Okay. Now, this is what's kind of fun. If you look close, and I'll just use a red one and a green one. I'll use both of these to kind of contrast one another. If you look, I created a curve based on the curve of the plate. Okay, do you see that? So I used the plate itself as a guide to help me mark everything. But I took it to the little edge where I made the measurement marks. So I just kind of played around with it. You know, I used those as a guide to get me to equal spacing. But if it's not equal spacing, you know, again, nobody's going to notice really that much. But let me move those off to the side. Let's take our plate, and if I have them already marked, as you can see, I have both of these already marked. I'm going to line up this line right here that I created. I'm going to line that up to that circle, or to the center part. That little bitty dot I made. And then I'm going to take the next one that I made, and I'm going to line that up. So it's going to look like this. Let me get them all organized a little bit better so I can help you better. Okay, here we go. That's going to help me. I know I'm going to have these kind of meet up. See, basically right there. And then I'm going to do that same thing all the way around the plate. Okay? So let me get that going, and then I'll hold it up for you. So you can see exactly what I just did. Okay? That's why these marks are really helpful. It's really helpful to have a pencil too, right? You know what I think I'll do? I think I'll use a piece of tape temporarily so that way you guys can see it even better. Now I'm going to take the tape off, okay? This is just to kind of show you guys how to get that measured. Okay. So that's what I'm doing right there. Can y'all see that? See where that one mark is right here, lined up to that dot? And then I have this little mark here and this mark right here, and they meet up about right here. Okay, and then I draw that line. And then I do that all the way around the plate. Okay, I just put that tape on there temporarily just so I wouldn't slip, so I could show you guys an up close version. Okay, so y'all can see a little bit better. All right, so I will continue to do that. Line that up, and then line up that other little line, and I'm going to do that all the way around my plates. Now once I get all of those drawn in, okay, I then can take my marker, and every other one I'm going to fill it in. Okay, now if like I said, if I wanted more divisions in there because I want more of these spirals, I could do that. It's not a problem. Okay, but I have the white of the paper plate, and so I don't have to worry about painting that white. It's already white, right? But then whatever color I choose, that's where I'm going to color it in. So as long as you are, when you're doing your divisions, as long as you're making sure that you can go, you know, your color, the plate, the color, the plate, the color, the plate, okay, and you have like an odd number, the worst thing that can happen is that you end up having a color and a color together, right? So before you actually start coloring on it, make sure that you have the same number as whites and the same number as what you're going to color in, because then you know for a fact that they'll be spaced. Okay, they'll be spaced. All right, so after I get those colored in with my markers, okay, because I'm going to choose whichever color I want, right? As soon as I get that colored in, I then can take my mint. I think this is so fun because I did a green one, so I'm going to use the green also. The green mint, and I'm just going to put a couple in there. I'm not going to put a whole lot because, you know, they're not really thick plates, so I don't need to put a whole lot in there. But I'm going to go in and glue my edges. This is why I was saying earlier that you want something that has a rim on it, because that rim is what's going to hold your plate together. Okay, and then I like to go ahead and put it on both of the plates, just in case something doesn't want to stick. Now, before I stick it together though, let me show you guys. I want to make sure that I have the red and the red meet. Can y'all see that? You see how that's going to meet? And the white meet. And so I'm going to do the same thing with this green. Okay, I got to make sure that the green matches up, right? That the green and the white match up. So if I'm using something like hot glue, that's not always that easy to get your timing right. If you've got your glue stick or you have regular Elmer's glue, you have a little bit of time before it tries to stick, right? I'm going to make sure that I get that fairly close. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to pinch that together. Just pinch it all down there together. These are like super fun to just give to your friends or give to your parents. Cousins, you know, there's a fun little surprise you can put in these. They don't necessarily have to. You could just use them as like a table decoration too, or to hang from the ceiling or your wall. You can do whatever you want to with them. There's no rules, right? It's art. There's no rule. Well, there are, but that's when you get to college. Okay, So I'm just pressing that just to make sure that, you know, it's all sealed up. And so, yeah, they're in there, right? Okay, so this part is done. So let me move all this stuff off the table because now we're going to put our plastic wrap. So I just need my tape and my scissors for the moment. So let me move all these things out of my way, out of our way, because we're in this together. Move all those out of the way. And I have some ribbon close by because I'm going to be decorative with my ribbon. So now I'm going to take this plastic wrap. I'm going to spread it out. And I'm going to have my plate right there. So this can kind of give me an idea on how much to wrap around it. Now I need to be generous with it. And the reason why is because I want to be able to create like this big bunch that comes up, that kind of flares out. And in order for it to flare out, I've got to have enough material to do that, right? And so, you know, don't be shy, be generous. Okay, you know what, that might actually work if we fold it or roll it long ways. All right, and then I'm going to move that out of my way. And I'm going to have a piece of tape close by because now I'm going to turn this just so I can make sure it's a little bit longer. Take a piece of tape and attach it to my plate. So you can see I bring this up just a little bit and it's clear tape, so nobody's going to see the tape. I just tape it to the plate. Okay, I want to make sure that I have like the same symmetry, you know, I have about the same width over here as I do over here, but if it's off a little bit, you can always trim it later. It's not that big a deal. Okay, so I'll just have that ready. And then I'm just going to roll it. Pretty simple stuff. Pretty simple stuff. And then, of course, I'm going to tape it right here. Okay. As you can see, I now have this much over here and this much over here. And then all I need to do is just grab that and grab this one. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of twist them. You don't have to twist it. I just think if you've got something in it, though, it's really helpful if you do twist it. But because I have that one already there, I can either tie it or tape it now. So if I tape it, like what I did with these, that's fine. See, I've got tape on the end of that. But I also have ribbon, so I could tie it off as well. And, you know, it's really up to me, whatever I want to do. But I think just for now, just to make sure everything's kind of laying flat and in place before I do all that, let me come back here because I got a little bit crazy right there. So I got to retape that. And then I'm going to bring this over, twist, and then the tape is just going to hold it for me real quick. And then I can do the same thing over here. It's just holding it in place. That's all. Just for right now. Because then remember, I'm going to put a ribbon on it, so there it is, right? And because everything is green, I think I'll just go ahead and use the green. So I'll be kind of generous with my green ribbon. But I don't know how much green I actually have on here. Oh, I've got quite a bit. So I'm going to get 2 strips of it, right? Because that's what I'm going to tie off. Now, like I said, you can use paint on these plates if you want to. It's just that not everybody has acrylic paint, but most of you guys probably have your markers because your markers are in your school supplies. But if you don't have any marker, you could always try to use color pencils, or I guess you could try construction paper. You create those little curves with construction paper too and glue them on there. You know, sometimes we have to improvise, right? And then I think for fun, I'll just turn it over this way because the other side had the tape on it. And then I'm going to do a curly cue here in just a second. It's already kind of curly, but that's okay. I'm going to give even a more curl to it, just for fun. Y'all have probably seen this done before where you can make it even curlier, right? You have your scissors and you just kind of hold it and you pull it. Oh, and it goes really curly cue on you. Like I said, y'all probably already seen how to do that, but so really you could add however many ribbons you wanted. You know, it just really curled these things up too. Isn't that fun? Kind of like the sound of it. Oops. Got a little knotted there. Stop it. It's fairly forgiving. Or if I don't like my ribbon, I can always take it off and do it again too. But there you guys have it. That's our peppermint with peppermints in it. You can kind of spread that out if you want it. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you guys next week, and enjoy your week, and we'll do some more fun stuff Saturday at 10:30. Okay, bye guys.